Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with BBQ Champs Academy Live, and we have this guy here, Mr. Lee
That's
Hickler.
right.
Hey brother, how you doing tonight?
Man, another Tuesday, Mike. It's all exciting. Happy to be here.
Heck yeah, man, we missed you last week, so
I was
uh,
on a mission last week. I had to
yeah,
go get ready for a birthday party.
yeah, and it was quite the birthday party.
Yes, it
Anyway,
was.
well, we're certainly glad to have you back as our guest host tonight, our co-host tonight. We got a few folks already coming in. Man, we got a good show lined up tonight, so looking forward to it. Mr. Tim Ish and Tiny E Barbecue, and we've also got Bud Brown with us as well. New
Right?
cook that's up and coming, man. Two RGCs right out of the gate this year. So,
Phenomenal.
yeah, it's pretty good, especially in this day and age. So, anyway, Mr. Gordon, we appreciate you being here. Emmeline, thank you for joining us tonight. We already got 5 folks showing up. Just kick this bad boy off. If you get on, give us a drop in the chat. Let us know that you're here. We're going to talk for just a few moments. Miss Brenda, hope you're doing well. And glad
Yeah.
to have you with us today. So, Lee, I know, man, you're
Yeah, for
preparing.
sure.
Y'all have got a massive tropical storm fixing to hit y'all. Looks like they're going to dump about 8 to 10 inches of rain, what I've heard down in that area. So,
That's right.
any wind or anything, or is it just going to be a lot of rain, buddy?
It's going to be both. Between now and Thursday, we're looking at 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds and 10 inches of rain. So it's been a busy day getting everything tied down, secured, everything put up. So
Yeah,
we're just
yeah,
going to hope for the best. It looks like also it's going to hit the Galveston, Houston area. So all those north of Corpus Christi where I live, praying for you guys too, because they have a lot of concrete and a lot of lakes that are already overflowing for the last couple of months
yeah,
of high waters.
yeah.
So hopefully everything works out for them as well. But luckily where I live, I'm on high ground, but I do live 1,800 feet from the Gulf of Mexico.
Right.
So hopefully everything's going to be good. But
Yeah,
yeah, 10 inches of rain and 50 plus mile per hour winds. We'll just hang in there and see what happens.
yeah. 50's not too bad. At least you won't have big storm surges coming in and pushing in. And I know y'all are desperate for rain. You and I were talking here the other day about how your lakes and stuff there are just almost completely depleted. So
Right.
hopefully this will 10 inches of rain, and if it's kind of slow moving and a lot of overflow may get you there. So
Yeah.
we'll keep you in our prayers. So
Thank
hopefully
you.
everything will go good. Rich, glad you're joining us. Mark, we appreciate you being here. David, hey buddy, how you doing? Glad you're joining us tonight. Sean, thank you for joining us. Stay safe. Yeah, we got a few folks steadily coming on in. As you do, let us know. We're gonna have a good show tonight, man. We really do. So, um, anyway, I'm excited. Got a lot of stuff going. You got any cooks coming up, Lee?
Let's see, Mike. Not on the books. Nothing
Not on the
right
book.
now.
It's
You
time to get
know,
you. It's time to get you out there. That's for sure. So
it's time. It's been a little hot. I don't
it's
want to go out there. It's been like 115 degrees heat index, so it just seems a little too hot for the generators
yeah, it
to get
is.
those things running. So uh, I do have, Bunkie, Louisiana in August, and then Mexico in August, and then September I'm on a week's vacation, and then back over to Louisville, Kentucky for a
Okay.
cook off, and then the American Roll, and then World Food
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that. So it's gonna pick up.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
taking like this month and a half off.
Yeah, it's pretty hot right now. I've been looking around to see if there's anything. It's not. So, got some work getting done on the trailer here next week. I'm gonna go drop it off for
Right.
Pete and let him get my roof done, and I'm kind of excited about all that. So let's see. I'll see
Yeah, for
when next
sure.
month he's going to cook with me. Okay, all right. Going to be cooking with Mark. All right.
Hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, it's going to be fun. It is the time of the year where everything kind of slows down just a little bit, and things will start heating back up once we get past August. It seems like some cook-offs start to come up, and it starts getting a little cooler once we get to September. So, and we got a few
Right.
folks in here. We got some great guests tonight, man. Really excited to have return to the show, Mr. Tim Ish with Tiny E Barbecue. We're gonna pop him in, and then
Hmm.
we're gonna save our headliner for last because I
You
can't wait to
bet.
talk to Bud. And man, my mouse, I don't know what's this wireless mouse right now. I'm about ready to throw it. I can't seem to get over here to add to the stage button, but
There he is.
he's sipping some of that brown water. As
Hey,
yeah,
you caught me.
he's sipping some of that brown water, as Aaron would call it. Hey, Mister
He's
Tim Ish, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, I am doing fantastic. Really glad that you joined us tonight. It's been a while since we've had you on the show. And, man, they got a lot of good things cooking over there in Outlaw, and you're kind of sitting up there at the top of the field right now. So we'll talk a little bit about that and what's been going on in Tiny E's barbecue life with you and Miss Hot Dot. I know y'all was out here not too long ago. We got another one, a new one to Barbecue Champs Academy. We got Mr. Bud Brown with Smoking Bud's Barbecue. Hey, Bud, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Couldn't be much better the way this barbecue season's gone so far.
Yeah, you've had a quite a
Yeah.
run for pretty much, well, basically your rookie year, your first full year of getting out, taking it serious and getting out and competing, man. Congratulations on what you've had going. You've got two RGCs in the
Hmm.
last, pretty much well, in the last month. And man, in today's cooks, that is pretty remarkable because especially for a newbie that's getting into this, man, and really excited to see
Right.
what you're doing. I think one of the first times I met you, I know I met you, I think last year in Maybank, and we had a good time talking a little bit about that. You was asking me about some classes and stuff, and then obviously we really kind of got to hang out with you a little bit in Gilmore and or Gilmer as we should say,
Hmm.
and it was a good time there. So,
For sure.
man, congratulations on what you've had going. Tell us a little bit about Mr. Bud.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's great. It's been great getting to know you all and all these cooks. You talk about in this day and age, a lot of the guys that have been around for a long time, talking to Justin West and those guys like feel like it's the old time, back with the old guard and coming in here
Right.
brand new with, you know, very little experience. I did a handful of competitions before this year and really started honing things. We started out the year horribly. I went to Kaufman and I wasn't prepared at all. That thing, I just,
That's how Kaufman is, though. You never know in Kaufman.
Yes,
no,
for
I,
sure.
everything I tasted, and if you ever talked to Justin, said, hey, you need to taste this. I said, it's horrible. I
Yeah,
didn't even want to turn it in, but we had to have
Oh,
every single turn in to count that weekend.
yeah,
And then after talking to you in Denton and Maybank, I ended up signing up for the class. I don't know if you could tell what class I might have taken.
yeah. Maybe Aaron Leslie's.
hmm.
Yeah, Midland meat, baby.
But I took his class, and it really set me on a course and gave me the opportunity to really put everything in order. Here's what you need to do, and have everything lined out. I still go through my notebook every week, just
Yeah, yeah,
making sure that I'm
Yeah.
consistent and doing the same thing over and over again. My biggest surprise so far this year has been chicken because I'd gotten one call-in chicken in the previous years ever. And I think it was just because it was a smaller cook-off without a lot of backyard guys. But, I even, using some of the recipes I learned, chicken I thought it was okay. Didn't hit, but then I changed brands of chickens and it has helped a lot. I'm using Prairie Ranch or Prairie Creek Ranch chickens now,
right.
and they're fantastic.
Okay.
Did you say Prairie Creek Ranch chickens?
Yes, sir.
How do
Out
you
of,
get hold of those chickens?
well, AJ George, I know he's listening tonight. He was hitting big with those, and I said, "Hey, you mind if I get the contact?" And he's like, "Here's the card." So I got in touch with Andrew up there in Ardmore, and he said, "Come on, I'll bring you some." AJ brought me the first two. He actually remembered them that time. I got to give him a burn on that every time. It's funny.
Yeah.
But
Right.
then I've met Andrew and he brought me 4 birds, and I got enough birds to get through the end of this segment, and plan on taking the first, seconds, thirds, and fourths I've got, and hopefully can improve these next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So are you saying the chicken might really have something to do with your success? The brand of chicken?
I am, yes,
Wow.
because
Okay.
these chickens, they come just frozen. There's no juices, there's no water or anything. They just freeze them, you thaw them, and you don't have to drain anything out of that package whenever you get done. So there's no preservatives or anything in it, and
Right.
it's been turning out great. And
Wow.
Andrew, he's a family farm up there. He wants to grow and get his USDA certification to be able to start cutting things up and selling pieces instead of whole chickens. But does a great job up there, and I want to support a good small business, good man, and help them grow.
So
Absolutely.
how big a bird do they usually have? I mean, that's one of the big things that we're seeing right now, Bud. It's so hard to find chickens that are not, small turkeys, 5.5, 6 pounds, 6.5 pounds. It's harder to
Hmm.
find these smaller birds. Or do they have kind of a pretty broad area of birds? Do they have like from 4.0 to 5.0, or what do they typically weight average?
I'm getting 3.8 to 4.2 pounds.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that size, small.
Yeah, that's Lee's favorite bird right in that area. Why does Tim
Hmm.
always look mad? I don't know why he looks mad. I know
Of
all
course, by the time I get done with it,
I saw a
I'm mad
pen in his
because
I saw a pen in his hand. He was taking notes when he was sitting there talking about read my notes. So
yeah, I'm mad because Mark Pugh
yeah,
forced me to drink so many Keystones over in Fort Worth this year.
that's what it is.
And you weren't even a Keystone guy.
Oh
No.
goodness gracious. All right, well we may have lost Bud. He's at a hotel. He don't have the best internet connection, so his is buffering a little bit. He'll kick back on.
Hey, so
Uh,
I'll chime in on his chicken deal there.
yeah.
I don't use what he uses, but my chickens have been pretty decent lately. I've had some pretty good calls. I just jinxed myself on that, but I have switched to a different brand of chicken, and it is consistent and it is good every time. Now I have no idea what they taste like, but they feel good, they look good, and they've been making me some money lately. So I had a second place last week or this past weekend down in San Saba. So the chicken that you use does make a difference. I see a lot of guys, I just get whatever I get at Sanderson or whatever. And a friend of my daughter, she went to college with, she got her PhD in poultry science. So I call her the chicken whisperer. So I
Okay.
talk to her quite often about Sanderson and all this other stuff, and she kind of keeps me going on what's going on. And there is difference. There is a lot of difference in the chickens you can get, and
Right.
the consistency is what you want. I mean, Sanderson are good, and some other ones, but as well as I do, you go and one day they look good, and the other day they got a bunch of white stuff all stuck through them, and
Yeah.
they
Right.
just the production on them. So that I think makes a difference in chicken, consistent every week.
Yeah.
Right. Marcio needs help in chicken like he's helping pork.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcio. Like we're gonna believe
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
that's hilarious. All
try not
right,
to look
bud.
sideways.
Bud's gonna get that phone figured out here in a minute. Just bear with it. Marcio's over there cracking up.
My laptop
Oh,
kicked on me.
let's see what he says.
Oh.
Insider information legal. I don't know if it is or not. So,
Yeah.
y'all all
Right.
talking about chicken fried over there. I mean, I don't know. They get wound up so much they ain't really giving a whole lot of information. They're just doing this all the time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you want the chicken information? It's over here, brother. So, we got two different brand chickens rolling right now. So. Well, Bud, you've been doing really good, man, and it's really great to see new upcoming cooks that's doing well. I know when we was in West, and I think you got your GC right after West. You was like, one of these days, I'm going to do good enough to make it on Barbecue Champs, and I
Here he
mean,
is.
like that's my goal, And I was like, all right. And then you got that RGC about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we had a packed house with all the the rib class, the pork class, everything we was doing. And then, man, I was so excited to see you bust off another RGC this weekend. And I was like, man, I'm getting you on. So I like giving the guys props on stuff like that. And man, you've been doing really good. It seems like you've got your timelines figured out. You've been taking a lot of notes. You're going back watching the videos. He bought Aaron's videos if you just now joining. And Aaron kind of will steer you in the right direction. He's got a very technical class, kind of helps you stay on your timeline and stay focused. What do you think your favorite protein to cook is coming out of the class? What was your worst protein that you just was struggling with and didn't have a clue after seeing some of the things that Aaron's doing?
Well, chicken was definitely the worst of the three meats. Having, like I said, only getting one call in the 3 years I've been doing it. The handful of times before this year, Ribs is what I used to get calls on all the time. And this year, I've been struggling on that. And, I went away from some recipes and that I used to do. And I, tried some recipes in class and it wasn't hitting where we're at. And so I tried my own and I bought some very subpar ribs, especially for West. I
Right.
mean, they tasted wonderful in West, but they were subpar. And you got Kiss Your Sister. I won't complain.
Right.
But went to Will's Point the week after and thought, okay, let's go. And I tasted them and was like, I don't think these even need sauce. Even though I talked to Bubba earlier in the day, he's like, we're in East Texas, you better sauce this stuff. I didn't even listen to myself and turned it in again, subpar ribs. So, this last week, getting the 5th place call on my ribs was my surprise. So, getting chicken was worse. After that was ribs. I was always pretty confident in my brisket.
Right.
And once I took the class, it really, solidified that. And now I'm, utilizing some great techniques.
You're doing pretty well. I know you and I was 1-2 in Gilmer. You got that 2nd place brisket, and I was so happy for you. And I was like, man, this is going to look bad if I get beaten brisket. So I was feeling pretty good. I had a good one. I had another, and it was good to go 1-2 with you on that. So.
Yeah, you just can't sit behind me anymore because you always beat me behind.
Yeah, and then we took up and went to Henrietta, and I was sitting behind him again, and we did good up there in Henrietta. So yeah, if I go to a competition, I'm gonna stick close to Bud. That's for sure.
Bud, you need to mention the story you were telling about sitting at awards with Aaron and Mike and West.
Oh yeah.
Which story was that, Tim? Huh?
Uh-oh.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know if I can sit near those guys. Because go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know because I'm sitting in the front and West, and these guys are behind. They're jabbering back and forth. I'm really trying to pay close attention with my bucket of beer in front of me at the awards, but they're just jabbering back and forth and looking back. It's like he's like, I got you. No, I got you. I got you. I got you. It's like, oh, I just need one call. I just need it. It's like, oh, it doesn't look. But, going back to that awards, I'm like, it's the first time I cooked with Aaron since the class. And I even told him this, so it's no secret. It's like, I just wanted to beat you in one category. And I did in the chicken that time. So,
yeah,
it was wonderful. And, got a laugh at you all. It was going, it was silly being behind you all just jabbering back and forth.
Yeah, and once again, I was behind you again. So that was Gilmer, that was Henrietta, and that was West. I should have known right then I had that with sitting behind you. I mean, you need to start following me around all these barbecue competitions. Let me just get behind you because, man, so far, I don't mind taking the back seat to you, bud. You can sit up front all day long, brother.
We can do that if Barbecue Champs wants to be a little sponsorship.
I got you.
Oh yes.
And I'll follow you around. I'll take 2nd place if you're getting 1st place all the time.
I'll take whatever I can get. So yeah, we had a good time.
Based on West, what I'm coming out with next week is my tell-all Lazy Man's class. Tell you how to win that because Hot Dot got a 7th and a 1st in the Lazy Man.
Yeah, Hot Dot was killing it, man. That Lazy Man cook-off was pretty fun. So
just real quick to let everyone know what a Lazy Man is. West does this. It's a fundraiser for their scholarship, and they call it Lazy Man's Cook-Off. $200 an entry. They do 50 entries for $10,000. They keep 4,000. They take 6,000, split it over. I think they did it 12 places this year.
Yeah, they did 12.
So when they call chicken, and they call it Lazy Man because you don't have to do anything. You pay the money and they give you a ticket. So they'll call 12 place chicken for Outlaw, and then they'll call 12 place Lazy Man, and you get money for each place. So the cook gets money back. It's a raffle, but it's a fun way to do it's better than a 50-50 or some kind of raffle like that. So it's a good way. If there's promoters listening out there, and they got any questions, hit me up because it is a good way to raise guaranteed money for your cook-off.
Yeah, it was really cool. And the cool thing is, Tim, if they draw your name and you win, say you was
it goes back in.
They throw it back in a hopper, spin it again.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
they drew mine twice.
They do Dots twice. They do Carly. She got drawn twice.
It was my name, not Dots. Dot got up and picked up the check, but it was my name.
Check. Yeah. That's funny.
I had to make that clear.
I see Prairie Chris. Thank you, Bud Brown, AJ, Native Smoke for supporting Prairie Creek ranch chickens. But man, I tell you what, I got to find out about these dang chickens, man. You know,
Right?
I've been cooking
Same
some
here.
chickens. Yeah, you know, y'all be keeping all these secrets away from me and stuff. So
Bud, where do you live?
I live in Saginaw, Texas, just on the north side of Fort Worth.
north side of Fort Worth. Okay.
Okay, not too far from Tiny E Barbecue then. So you're an outlaw country.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep. If
Have
anybody
you
knows where
only
Billy
cooked?
Bob's is at, I'm
Oh
60
yeah.
miles north of Billy Bob's.
Okay.
So, Bud, do you do IBCA, KCBS, Lone Star, BCA,
Well,
CBA?
my first competitions were IBCA back in 22. My first ever one was the Smoke Down when they had it at Panther Island there in Fort Worth, and then I ended up doing a Lone Star in Fairfield. That was at that point was my best finish I'd ever done. I got 3 calls and got I even got chef's choice, second place overall. But it ended up. I think we ended up fourth overall with a third brisket and a fifth rib and a ninth chicken. And then I've told this story to many people. Into that year, I met James and Erica, and they invited me to
Hmm.
the cook off in Keller that year. And I'd heard about James and how he'd been successful, and I'm like, I need to get around some people like that. And so they let me sort of
Yeah.
shig off of them a little bit that time, and they said,
No,
"Come on out to Granbury whenever you get a chance." And so I loaded everything up, went to Granbury in that December, and then didn't really do much cooking in 23. My mother passed away in April, and just it got so hot.
Right.
And so I
Right.
ended up going to Denton that year and last year, and that's where I ended up meeting Justin, met you, Mike,
Yep.
and a bunch of other folks, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to Maybank.
There you
So
go.
went to Maybank, and haven't cooked any other
Organizations.
organizations yet. I know, Bubba Hargrave and Amy and I were planning on doing a few different cooks. We plan on doing a KCBS event next month in Lubbock. That's his home country,
Right.
and sort of a tune-up before, he's going to take me up to the American Royal this year because he got
Okay.
an invite last
Okay.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna form our own team name, and the team name is going to come out to the public a little bit later. But
Yeah.
and I've got a few CBAs tentatively on my schedule this year because I've never cooked one of those. I've got you all tasted my
Pork.
pork butt there
Yep.
in Gilmer, and it was
Yep.
horrible. But I was also trying to pay attention to everything else, and it sort of went on the back
You
burner.
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're
make,
talking
make sure.
about just so you're
Go ahead,
talking about
Tim.
the CBAs. I just saw Jackie Milligan comment there. So we were at one not this past weekend before in Fort Davis CBA, and Jackie was out there, and she edged me out on the overall this year, but it was good.
Yeah.
She got a real nice trophy out there. But that's I think cooking different organization it introduces you to a bunch of new people, new techniques, new timelines. I think it makes you a better cook overall to get out of your comfort zone, travel a little bit. I'm going to go
Hmm.
to Oregon
Yep.
in August to cook. I've cooked in Alaska. I've cooked in Hawaii. My work has kind of helped me out with some of that, with having to travel and that kind of
Right.
stuff. They
So
didn't
let's
pay me, but they
right.
took me places to work. So
So let's talk about your little trip out to Fort Davis here a couple weeks ago. How did tell us a little bit about that? That's a big CBA event out there. It's
it's a
high
big.
elevation.
Yep.
Tell us how that deal
So
rolls.
the Smoking the Mountains Ribeye Cook Off puts it on. It's a charity organization. Jennifer Webster and Joe Webster are two of the key players in it. They are KCBS CBA cooks that we met several years ago. So it's in the middle of nowhere, and when they cook, they have to travel everywhere. So they put on a cook off, and a bunch of people went out to cook with them. So they kind of shut down the town. It's around a square, around the courthouse.
That's
They
cool.
cut it off at 60 teams. I think there were 7 of them that didn't show up for some reason this year. I don't ever cook any sides or ancillaries, but I did out there to support them, and we were going all the way. So there's 8 ancillaries we cooked. It was salsa, steak, dessert, margarita, the 3 CBA meats, and then there was a cabrito, a goat. So I put some work in on the goat this year and ended up getting second in that, which I was pretty happy with that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a good overall cooking. It's only a 3 meat CBA, so there was no pork, but we had all the other ones out there. So it is 5,000 feet elevation, so that makes a difference in your cook. I knew that. I was aware of it, and my brisket was still a little bit tight. The year before, I had gotten fourth place brisket out there, and this year I was 29th. But I am not upset with what they gave me this year based on what I thought my brisket was. So it was not normally good, but it's been pretty decent in Outlaw lately. So I just didn't do what I needed to do. But different locations, different timelines. Because CBA's timeline's different. You have 1 hour turn-ins. You only have 10 before, nothing after.
Right.
So that changes your timeline too. So I think that makes you good.
Yeah.
And Mike, also weeks before, Tim was out purchasing goat, different kind of goat, cuts of meat of goat, practicing running different recipes, and he would send me a little snap. Trash. He threw away more goat than you can ever imagine. And then he finally said, "Hey, I nailed it. I nailed what I'm going to turn in." And it worked out, Tim. You got second place.
Yep, second place. So
it took a lot of practice to dial it in.
The comment after they called me up there was that the white boy, damn, that white boy can cook goat. That's what I was told.
So he's the goat
awesome.
roper of this group.
He's the goat roper of this group. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
But bottom line, it is fun to get out. I do KCBS whenever I can. I do, I've done BCA and everything. So I think the more places and people you cook around, I think it just, A, it's more fun, and B, it kind of makes you a little bit a better cook, I think.
Yeah, no doubt.
You bet. And Bud, if you're going to go to the American Roll, I do suggest cooking CBAs that have 4 meats. That way you can get your boxes figured out, laid out, and also doing the pork butt. Pork butt's the big thing. And the chicken, you can't just do chicken halves. You got to do thighs or legs or flats or wings. Mm-hmm. So you just can't do a chicken half.
And here's
that's one thing
the one piece of advice I give to everybody going to the Royal for their first time is the first time I went, I didn't cook a lot of KCBS. I was so paranoid about doing well that I did not enjoy the Royal. I rented an RV. I did get a call, and that was great, but I don't remember anything. So now you need to make sure, you want to cook well, but you also want to experience everything there is to experience up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why, Smoking Buds, I say Bubba's Blue Plate and Smoking Buds are going to team up. And, I guess unless, God willing, I get a GC between, the end of the month that, would qualify me this year, I want to cook with them, get to know the ropes, not be they're nervous, freaking out about everything. And, the only thing we got to fight over is like, who's been cooking the best brisket this year. So Bubba and I, he's like, I'm cooking that. I was like, but hey, I've been getting a lot of calls on that, a little bit higher. So, we're going to arm wrestle over that. But we're also, he's done really well with some of his pork cooks. And we plan on a few weekends if we got off between now and then, they got a nice little place they moved to in Emory that I'm going to pull everything out there. We're going to cook and see how recipes come through.
Quick question. Why do you have to cook one brisket? Why can't you each cook one and see which one's better to turn in?
No, and we would. We were just, we brought that up is, hey, let's just double up. The only thing is if we go there, I probably am not taking my big offset. So, having to do something a little bit different on a barrel. Right. And, we might have to figure out how to get another barrel or two there. But, we just want to turn in the best product and go have fun. Mm-hmm. One thing he said is he went there last year and he was, it was crazy and didn't enjoy it as much as he thinks. He's like, I want to experience everything this year, be part of everything, and just have fun.
Yeah. Pre-trim everything before you go and vacuum seal it. That way you don't spend your entire time trimming chicken thighs while you're there.
And don't go to the Reese's trailer and get 25 pounds of macaroni salad because even though it's free, you have no cooler space to keep it.
That's for sure.
Hey, I know somebody who went to the Reese's on that Friday and got free beans, and they doctored them up and got first place baked beans.
There you go.
That's hilarious. That was 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness
So now let
gracious!
me look up who got beans 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Meet me in St. Louis.
That is
That's who it
funny.
was.
Wow. Yeah,
Hmm.
you
And
can't.
the other thing, one more thing on the Royal, if you want to know where everything is, what time everything's free, what they're giving away,
Listen.
you get a hold of Suzette Steele, and she will give you an itinerary of where not only are the pork loins ready to go at 11, you need to be in line at 10:40 to
That's
make
right.
sure you get up there.
That's right. I
That's it.
promise you. And he's telling you the truth because she knows where all the food is, when to get there, where to go. You will eat like a king on that Friday. So,
All the booths that have freebie pass outs, what time, flair, she has it dialed in.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
time we've been to something that Mike and Suzette's been there, and there's been a little fair or something around, she's always coming back with shopping bags full of stuff.
That's for
Yep.
Well,
sure.
don't let her fool you. Mike is a pretty stingy little booger on giving her some money to go out there and spend
That's
because he's
right.
like, here's your $20. Go
That's
make what
right.
you can.
You start small, Lee. You've got to learn to quit giving hundreds. You start at 20 and they like just a little. Okay, how about 40? Because they don't think they're going to get no more. So, okay, how about another 20 then? They don't want to
Oh,
push it, and then you get done with $40, man.
that's got to be completely wrong because that man trusts her to carry up all of his turn-ins,
I
and
do.
if he was being stingy that bad, she would just toss it in the trash.
How do you know she doesn't?
I'm getting walks.
Right.
I'm getting walks. So,
Hey, so
because
Bud, earlier you mentioned that you may not bring your big offset, so you don't cook on cans, you cook on a stick burner.
Yeah, I've got a AJ's custom cooker, big 60-inch offset. Little overkill for competition cooking, but it's very consistent offset. Now, I think something else I didn't mention earlier that's changed my chicken game is AJ did build me a barrel, and because I'm running the offset at 300 to 325, and I used to bring this little SCA steak cooker,
hmm
Hmm.
M4 or M4 C4 grill,
right,
and to get my grill marks
chicken.
on the chicken, and that was good. But I wanted something I could do everything on, and I wanted a higher temperature for that chicken.
Right.
And
Right.
I think I'm not getting as good at grill marks as I like, but I'm able to leave it on the skin side down a little bit longer. I think that's helping. I'm going to give a little secret away. I think it's helping dry that skin out. I've noticed my skin's not been near as rubbery as whenever I was just searing it at 600 degrees for a minute and a half and then throw it on 325 and
Right.
not getting that heat to the skin. So
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yep. 100%. That helps. Oh
Okay.
goodness. Yep.
So,
So
so what kind of wood do you use? You use charcoal for your heat and wood for your smoke, or all wood?
well, I mean, start the offset with some charcoal, and I'm using hickory and pecan.
yeah.
I'll throw on hickory with the brisket after I wrap the brisket, or even if it's been on smoke for a while, it's probably not going to absorb much more. Whenever the ribs go on, pecan goes on.
There you go.
Are you
And
using the best burning charcoal called B&B charcoal?
uh, I'm using Jealous Devil
Jealous
charcoal.
devil.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Uh,
I
you
love
know,
it.
I figure I better pick something that not many people around us are using in case I want to try to get a sponsor around there. Um,
Okay.
but everybody's like Jealous Devil, it burns too hot, burns too hot, burns too hot. Well, starting the fire, I want it to burn hot on the offset. And then when I'm cooking the chicken, I want it to burn hot to get to 450 degrees to get that done. But I'm also, whenever I get the fire up to temperature, it's got a Hunsaker Vortex deal in
Oh
it.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
So
nice.
AJ bought that from Hunsaker, and I'll toss a couple chunks of sugar maple on top. That's what I'm smoking on my chicken. So
Okay. Yeah.
So though over to the Jealous Devil, I've been using that 3 or 4 years now, religiously, and the reason I use it is it doesn't impart a ton of flavor, so it's neutral, so you can control. But what it does for me in the drum, I have two gateways, and to me, airflow is everything in the drum. So the Jealous Devil chunks are consistently good size, And you got to make sure when you put it in your basket, you shake out any of the loose stuff. I have a blower, I blow it out with, and that airflow with those chunks just makes it. I mean, I've cooked in all kinds of conditions, and those things are 300 all day without touching them. So
right.
the consistency with that is what I look at. Now, if I want flavors, I'll add maybe some other charcoal as just a flavor, or a couple chunks of wood.
Yeah, this weekend I used Onyx. Have you ever used the Onyx?
I stick with what I know. I've had success with it, and my barrels run 300 all day, all night. In fact, they run from 4:30 in the morning until you load them up on your RV and drive home from Cedar Park. They're still at 200 at night when the vent blows open going up the road.
Yeah.
So that happened back in April.
This weekend.
So 4 o'clock in the morning till 10 at night, and it's still running.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Jealous Devil Onyx was, and I used it for the first time this weekend, and I mean, it was like the pits of hell inside of that smoker. And whenever I got up to temp, I had to shut everything down because it was going to run away on me. So
when you say Onyx, I use whatever their lump chunk is. I don't even. Yeah. It's the dude with. It looks like me on the big muscle guy on the back.
Chunks.
Drink some more bourbon, will you? Drink some more scotch. Yeah.
The brown water. Keep the brown water going.
Yeah, just keep it going.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, man! This has been a show tonight. Now we got everything rolling. So, Tim, the next thing you know, Tim's going to have his own line of charcoal. It's this thing. So, oh goodness. Well, look, it also looks like you two guys are in this bounty hunt deal. Second segment's rolling pretty good, and Tim, you're tied for first place. Bud, are you in fourth place? Sixth place. Okay, sixth place. So, yeah, it looks like it's pretty dead-gum tight between all of y'all, and this is a pretty good deal if you haven't been following the Outlaw segment. Segment 1 is over, and they're in segment 2 now. How many more cooks do they have, Tim, in segment 2?
We have 2 more cooks, 3 left. We have Paris this weekend, which I'll give a quick plug for Paris. That moved from May when we had Fort Worth, so this is a reschedule.
Okay.
And that usually up there is around 19 to 22 cooks. We're thinking it's going to make 25 or more this year because it's been getting some hype. It's the only one that weekend. Right. Full RV hookups, and the weather's not going to be ridiculous August hot like it normally is. So
right.
I've seen some buzz on people getting there, and if we hit the 25, it'll be nice. So, yeah, so for the bounty hunt, there's going to be what did I just say? Paris, and then there's Rogers. That's a reschedule as well. Okay. And then there's Portland, Oregon, and that's the one that the dudes from up there came down last year, and they wanted to do one up there. So
yeah, he came down to Maybank, didn't he?
He was at Maybank, and then he came also to McKinney last October.
McKinney. Okay, cool.
So Tim, is that going to be a Jack qualifier?
If it gets to 25.
Well, it's the first
year, guarantee.
15. It's 15, but it's going to be in Washington State, not Oregon, because the city of Portland, wherever the venue was, wanted they couldn't work it out with them for the venue, so it's over the Washington line. I forget the exact name of the town. It's kind of by Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
So I'm working with Justin. We try to make sure every outlaw has a proclamation. So I don't know. We're trying to figure out if they're going to have one up there. We're hoping, but you only need 15 because it's a first year.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't sure if that would be like an automatic. That's why.
No. There's more. There's plenty of contests in Washington State, so I don't know. We're still researching that.
Okay. What about Paris? Now this is second year, so it's got to have 25.
So it's a third year. The first year it was July, and we had like 17. Last year I think we had 19 or 20, and then we asked them to move it, and then it got postponed. So yeah, he has a proclamation. He's a great promoter. It's for a food bank. He gets a good turnout for the judges, so there's no problem on that. There's some locals that come cook it. But
how many teams does it have to be a state?
It has to have 25. So it has to have 15 for the bounty hunt, because the bounty hunt only goes by outlaw sanction. And to sanction a contest for outlaw, it has to be a minimum of 15.
Right. Okay.
So 100% confident we'll get that 15, no problem. Yeah. I didn't think we were going to get close to the 25, but now the more I'm looking, and if we can pump it up tonight, I think we can hit it pretty easily. And that's another bung opportunity, a month before the deadline.
Yeah, man, I may have to dust the trailer off and don't turn
it
in as early.
Yeah, water, power, and RV hookups.
Yeah, water, power, and RV hookups. So did I see Bud say bring it? Is that what he was saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Watch out now. Watch
No,
out.
I'm not
Don't
saying bring it. Just come on. The more the merrier, man.
don't tempt me. Don't tempt
I
me.
think Aaron said he was coming in, and I'm not sure who also. I think we got some Oklahoma guys. I got a hold of Nick
Did I
Date.
hear Aaron's name? Do we need
I
to
think
get another
so.
one going?
Oh,
round two.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He don't
Yep.
want to do that. So
I just got a text here. It said Mike is scared. It's from Aaron. So
yeah, whatever. Aaron don't talk to me much. So
Hey, and I'm going to tell you what, these next 2 weeks, it's a blessing is scheduled because I was going to go to one of them. I actually planned on going to Fort Worth because it's like 7 minutes away from my house. But I ended up having a dealer open house because I work for Coyote Tractor and had to go to see them, which is great. But whenever I found out that these two are going to be rescheduled and they're going to be different weekends, I'm like, yes, there's a little bit more because this bounty's got me pumped.
Wow.
yeah. So I'm going to be able to do.
The top 6 are within 6 points. So, a couple.
But everybody's at 4. Everybody's at 4 cook-offs now. So just to recap it, we only count the top 4 cook-offs. So you could cook 10. We're only going to take your best 4 scores. So this last weekend, I just hit my 4th cook-off for the segment. So that put me up there because I had the most to gain. Now it's going to be tighter because everybody up there has 4 cook-offs. So the lead shifts are going to be a lot smaller. So it's coming down to the wire.
Yeah, I've only got 3 scored cook-offs because I did hit the top 12. 2 11s and a 7, I believe.
So you've got a good chance to move up.
So I can improve if I hit better than 7th place overall in both of these. So
yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I love it, man. That whole bounty deal is a pretty cool deal. I'm excited to see it come down to the wire.
So I'm going to make Paris. I'm not going to make Rogers. I'm going to be out of town, but then I am going to go to Portland. But I'm going to Portland. I was going to go anyway, bounty hunt regardless. I didn't really set out to chase a bounty this segment. It just kind of worked out that way. And kind of what it did is once you got one, so I may not have gone to San Saba last week had it not been for the bounty hunt because that was 3.5 hour drive for me. But I'm glad I went. It was a really good cook-off.
So where's Rogers
Tim,
at? Where's
go ahead,
Rogers
Mike.
at? Where's Rogers at?
South on 35.
Huh?
Okay.
South on 35. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a good payout. I think James Dodson said he won it last year, and it's like a $10,000 or it was a $10,000 payout. So I got to look at the flyer to be sure.
Is it down by Waxahachie?
It's further down, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to get that information.
Okay.
Well, so Tim, I'm glad that Outlaw is definitely promoting barbecue and making it bigger and better. I think it's been a pretty good success for them in this bounty hunt that you got come on. It seems like it draws more interest, especially, when Mike and Aaron had a lot of bantering going on, the hype. I think a lot of people tuned in or just wanted to kind of see what was going to happen. So I'm glad you guys have something like that makes it really interesting to draw crowds in or more teams in to come and not like the whole year of cooking, but just a quarter. Come in there and do the best you can and have a chance for the end of the year for a big bounty payout. So good job on that.
And it's good, and it's making smaller cook-offs bigger because people are like, hey, I got a good chance to be in top 12 in that smaller one, so I'm going to go to that one. So it took us a while to contrive this bounty hunt, but we went round and round for probably 2 months trying to figure out what we were doing. But we're seeing work out. I saw a lot of comments on there. It's down by Hutto, 10K payout, so
just east of
it ought to be a really good one.
It's by Wake. So what weekend is that?
Next weekend.
Next weekend. Paris is this weekend, and Rogers next weekend.
Yeah, so Rogers southeast of Temple, about I think a half hour or so.
Okay. Just enough time I could pick my trailer up from the RV place and then just shoot straight onto. Okay.
Yep.
Come on.
I probably can't make that one. I've got too quick of a turnaround. So that's pretty neat, though. It's really cool to have some of these. Y'all really got some good stuff. I do like the bounty. It is a lot of fun. Me and Aaron had a blast really talking about that, hyping that up with the showdown between he and I. And it was. And
Justin and I did that this year when we had Terrell and Munster, 2 cook-offs on the same weekend. So we each picked a team and did that. So we're just trying to make it fun.
It's barbecue, man. It's fun. So it was Rogers' $10,000 payout. Wow. I love $10,000 payout. So
I will say that you and Justin gave me some motivation after that. I was hoping there's like somebody that's never got a GC or an RGC is the wild card. And it's like, I wasn't hurt that I didn't get picked because I hadn't done anything good. But now we got to do that again, and hopefully I might get picked.
Right.
Well, the
Yeah.
the way the wild card, I'll go over it real quick. So segment 1, whoever was 5th through 12th, they are eligible for 1 wild card draw.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your all's competition.
I got you.
Yeah.
The day.
Yeah. Hey, look
But
who we got
it's
on the
good
show.
because I stunk Munster up bad. So.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Vince. How are you doing? The Smoking Wizard in the house. So great product. If you've never used it, you don't know what you're missing out on. He's got some wonderful stuff.
Excellent product. Yep.
Excellent product. And I still say it's a sauce, Lee. He calls it a glaze. I call it a sauce.
It's a sauce.
It's a sauce.
It's a sauce.
It's a sauce, Vince. It's a sauce. I looked at the bottle and I was like, it says glaze. It's a sauce.
But that sauce works, though. It works.
That stuff is so damn good. So, man, I love it. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, glad to have you with us tonight, Vince. I don't know, man. It's been a really great year for both of y'all. And Tim, you've done a lot of traveling, man. You went to Hawaii earlier this year. You and Hot Dot got a chance to go out to Fort Davis. That was really cool. I know you've kind of hit a few, but it's really great seeing what you're out doing and everything. And man, it's always great to see our alumni. We had a customer of ours bought a class from Bill. He's in Italy, and he went in and did his first KCBS cook-off, and it was this past weekend. And he posted that, man, I've always got killed over there. I've never done very well. And he said he cooked this weekend. He was terrible. He had terrible techniques. He had terrible timelines. He bought Bill's master class, and he had a 4th place chicken, a 6th place rib, a 5th place pork, a 3rd place brisket, and got reserve grand champion with a 701.69 score.
Wow.
So, and possibility to be drafted into the Jack Daniel 2024, being that he's from Italy. So here lately, we have had a lot of overseas cookers, 3 or 4 of them from Italy that's taken it, and it's really, really awesome to see. These classes are now, we've got Jared, I think, up in Canada that has done incredibly well. I think he's got one of the highest scores ever recorded up there. So, yeah. Are you noticing what he's saying here?
Yeah.
Great. Hope everybody's doing great. Yeah, laughing out loud. Okay, a sauce. Thank you, Vince. It's a sauce. I love it. So it's really good to see, all of these people. Bud, thank you so much for giving us the shout outs. Means a lot for us to, that's how we're going to help grow this. And even though they know a class that you took, it doesn't matter. They still got to cook it, Now, I say the classes are good enough. You can get the techniques. If you get everything down, you can do very well. So here's another one, took Bill's class as well. Next week, RGC and Bow Bridge, that's pretty stout to see stuff like that. And yeah, Saul was down there, and he killed it. It was very, very tight, and that was down in Bow Bridge, and he even beat Bill with his own stuff. So it's really great, and it's awesome to see all that. All right, we're gonna do a trivia question real quick. If I can get.
Are we eligible to, or is it just for the viewers? No,
you're not eligible. You be quiet. So, all right, so we're gonna make this. It's going to be good. I don't know if everybody's going to be able to get it. There's a handful of people on here that might get it. The one that got it, the one that won it, you're not eligible. So hush. All right. So here we go. First person that gets this right is going to get our 20 championship backyard barbecue classes. Look, guys, it's the first one that I see come across my screen. Not you're in 30 minutes later, 20 seconds later than somebody else. The first person that I see on my screen that gets it right is going to get our 20 championship backyard barbecue classes. So we've been talking about outlaw barbecue here for the last 4 or 5 minutes about the bounty hunt. They're in the second segment right now. I want to know who was the first place person in segment 1. Who won segment 1? Of the outlaw bounty. The first person that gets it right, your hands can go down. First person that gets it right gets our 20 championship backyard barbecue classes. So All right. What? What? I'm throwing. Should I even allow him?
Hey, he's a viewer. You didn't restrict him.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Jaime was
Yeah.
right there. You know, like,
He's eligible.
really, really, Justin?
He's eligible.
Really? The president, the guy that puts this on, is going to be the one to answer this.
Well,
So,
Mike, you could do Justin and AJ.
well, AJ, Jaime, I might could do that. So,
I mean, Jaime.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. Way to go, Justin West.
Way to go, Justin West. So,
You need a disclaimer like they have at the end of Price is Right that employees are not eligible for prize.
that's for sure. All right, Justin. I don't know. I guess I can't remember if you ever bought a class. Type it before you asked. Typed it before you asked. Pass it down. Yeah, okay. All right. Jaime, you got it. Yeah, that's what I thought anyway. So, all right, Jaime. You've got our 20 championship backyard barbecue classes. Jaime, drop it in the chat if you've bought any classes from us before. And if you have, I can add them to your account. And if not, I'll need you to email me your email me. I've got your first and last name. Just put in there trivia winner. Yes, I have. Perfect. Okay. Shoot me an email. BBQ champions plural. BBQ champions at gmail.com. BBQ champions at gmail.com. Jaime, send me an email saying you was the trivia winner and you've already got an account, and I'll get those classes added to you. Look at Stephen Peacock. AJ who? Oh my gosh. Man alive. Wow. What a tough crowd we got tonight. Well, look, it's been a great night, and I just now noticed Philip, not me.
That is, yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. I should have said who was the first and who snuck in fourth.
Oh well, yeah.
I got the check.
So Philip Lang's the active duty active duty Air Force guys that was with me for World Foods. We won World Food up in November in Dallas. So good seeing you, Philip.
That's good. That's
for
good.
sure. Hey, Mike, don't you have some classes coming up soon?
Yeah, so I know a lot of people have been asking, and thank you for saying something, Lee, about my in-person class. I have had a ton of people in the last couple of years been wanting me to do an in-person class, and I'm going to be making that happen probably sometime in July or August. It's going to be here at the studio. I just got out and ordered a big 77-inch OLED LG TV. I went for the high one, so it is going to be in 4K. We'll have a monitor, 77-inch monitor. I've got a 4K, big, nice $3,000 Sony camera that we'll have right on top of it. It's going to be a very, very technical class. A lot of the things that I think kind of sets my stuff apart that really helps me. A lot of people think I use, you got all these guys' stuff. I promise you this, if you've taken any class, when you come into my class, you're going to see stuff that I don't do any of their stuff. Never have, never will. I kind of got my own stuff that I run with. But I promise you, I've got some techniques that I think are pretty special. It's a lot of science. I'm that geeky guy that, was so into drag racing for so many years, setting a couple world records, developed a nitrous nozzle, got a patent on it, and I licensed it to Edelbrock. I brought in a lot of that kind of stuff into the barbecue stuff when I really got going. So if you are interested in my in-person class, please just send me an email at bbqchampions@gmail.com or drop it in the messenger. You can message me, Mike Steele. I've got a lot of people. Jason.
Yeah, he does.
Cooks with NOS. Yeah, it's for
so what have you brought into your chicken program with this nitrous bottle, Mike?
That was what it was. That was what stepped it up. So anyway, if you are interested, drop me a message in Facebook. I haven't really made the official post yet, and I counted the other day. I think there's already 12 people that's already in it, and I'm only going to limit it to 20 to 25 tops. I am working right now with Sam's Town Hotel and Casino to get you a 2-night stay. included in the price. It's going to be $800, and that will be hopefully we're going to be able to pull that off, a 2-night stay on Friday night and Saturday night at Sam's Town Hotel and Casino. That'll be a great thing if you want to bring your family. They got a 50,000-gallon immaculate pool. I know the guy that cleans that thing, and it is the most pristine swimming pool in Shreveport and Bossier. And it's got a 4,500-gallon hot tub that is amazing. I keep it at 103 degrees for them. Pristine, I promise you. So it would be a fun trip. It's downtown Shreveport. There's a lot of places around there. So if you wanted to bring the wife and the kids, you could while you come to the class. So it's going to be a Friday and Saturday night. And if you are interested, drop it in the chat. But I promise you, there's going to be some things that I'm going to talk about that you have never even heard about in barbecue. I'm just going to keep it at that. So I think it helps. It'll keep you more consistent on your meats.
So Mike, and also if somebody wants to keep their pool in their backyard as pristine as Sam's Town, pool and spas, do you have something else I can look at?
Yeah, I do. It's I'm gonna drop that one in the chat for you, Lee. So
yeah, please. Hey, no joke aside, right? So Mike Steele is man of many, many, many things. And I'm gonna let you know. I mean, I love Mike Steele to death, but he has saved me hundreds and hundreds of dollars with this pool school video because I have a swimming pool as well. And man, without this video, I'd be lost because it's too expensive to hire a maintenance man all the time.
right.
I mean, my pool is 45,000 gallons, so it's very expensive to hire a pool guy. So, but when you buy the pool school videos, a one-time purchase.
Yeah.
It tells you everything you want to know.
Everything. It's $199. James says Mike Steele's pork and pools classes.
Mike Steele is pulling the pork. That's what it should be.
Pulling the pork by the pool. So anyway, well, I'll tell you what, it's been a great show. Lee, thanks for mentioning my class. It's coming up. I will be putting an official banner out and letting everybody know when it's going to be. I've got a ton of people that I'm sure are wanting to come into it because so many people have taken the class. So have the
Will your class be before me? What is it guaranteed? Is it centered around a certain
brisket, ribs, pork, and half chicken?
Okay, all four meats. KCBF presentation or CBA presentation, or just here's how you cook it and do what you want in the box?
I'll probably end up just doing a CBA, IBCA presentation. Obviously, if I need to build a kale box, if somebody wants to know, I'll certainly throw that out when we get our 2025 wrapped up. Okay, here's how we're going to do it. So I can certainly show how to build a kale box and how to present it and stuff like that. So,
and then anyone any dessert tips from the Suzette there?
Yeah, I might get her to pull in here, have the class in the pool. So. I might be able to get her to pull something off. I don't know if she's going to give up her secrets of what she does on her cheesecake. So anyway, but no, it's going to be a very, very, very technical class. I spoke with Lee at great lengths about this, and I've asked several other people what wins competitions. Is it recipes or is it techniques? Everybody said, techniques is what wins it. But at the same time, I don't want to just come in here and have a technique and not show you how I cook it, how the process is done, because a lot of my techniques are the cooking process. A majority of them are. So it all kind of goes hand in hand. And I may even pull out a drum and do it on a drum instead of my WSM, instead of on my rotisserie, because I'm the only guy that's got a rotisserie, so I may end up doing them on a gateway drum and WSM, and that way I can kind of show, because there's a lot of stuff that I think people are really missing on the fire management part, and that to me is one of the biggest mistakes I think people make in cooking. I think that there's a lot of stuff that's there that I think people overlook. They just go through the routine, but they're not really thinking about the science behind it, and that's where I come in. So I'm probably going to do drums, WSM, and a gateway. So, and I may pull out my big smoker, maybe like to do ribs. I've got a pellet cooker, so I know a lot of people are doing pellet cookers for ribs. So I just got to see how many drums I got. I've got one drum, I've got one WSM. So let's see, what does he say?
Right, for sure.
It's too bad. Too bad you don't have a backyard Jambo.
Yeah, yeah. I sold
Yeah,
that.
but Tim S does.
Yeah, I
Tim
sold
S
that.
does.
I got my money. I got my $5,000 for that one on one Jambo here a couple years ago. Thank you, Jamie, but I'm not replacing that rotisserie. And what does he say? There's about to be a run on Cadillac rotisserie series on sales. Only thing is, that's a one of a kind. I had it custom built. I bought one from them originally. I didn't like the firebox. I told them that I didn't like the design. There was a lot of things that I could tell that was going on in the firebox that wasn't right. And I asked him, would he build me another one and do a custom firebox? Joe was pretty awesome. He said, you design it, you draw it, I'll put it on a CAD, you see the approve it, and I'll build it. And he did. So I've got a one of a kind smoker that's nothing out there like it as far as in the Cadillac deal. How much do you see the class being? Probably going to be $800, Steve.
800.
And that's going to include, I'm hoping to get y'all a 2-night stay at Samstown Hotel and Casino, which probably about $130, $140 a night room. So I'm working on that as well. So it's going to be a really, really cool class. So anyway, well, guys, I really do appreciate y'all being here. And good luck, bud, on the rest of your year. And Tim, likewise as you, looking forward to catching up with you guys down the road.
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
So at the end of the month, there's going to be 2 Rib Association cook-offs. Erica and James are putting one on the 29th up in Oklahoma, across the border. Justin West is putting on 4th at the farm. And sorry, James and Eric, if you're on here, I can't remember the name of your all's competition. But 4th on the farm, it's going to be the Coyote Dealers of Texas 4th on the farm competition. And they're going to combine those into one 4th of July championship, and trying to get some good participation. The one the 4th on the farm is going to benefit the Wise County Meals on Wheels, and the money made for that over the donation and what I put in for the sponsorship is going to go back to Meals on Wheels. So it's going to be for a good cause up there. So I wanted to put that out there for Justin.
Absolutely. Yeah, Justin does a great job promoting stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it so much. Thank y'all for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Appreciate you
being
here.
Yep, I appreciate it too. It's an honor.
Thank y'all so much. Good luck to the rest of y'all's year. I hope everybody's enjoyed our podcast. Lord willing, we'll see y'all next Tuesday, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be me and my sidekick, Mr. Lee Hickle, Red Mules Barbecue. Thank you, Lee, for joining us once again. Always great to have your input as well. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of your week. Y'all go out there.
So is Lee the Ed McMahon of barbecue? Is that what we're saying?
I think so. He's whatever we need him to be.
Right.
Lee is a team player. So,
Billy Mays. Hey, everyone. It's Billy Mays.
Billy Mays. Anyway, y'all have a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Go.